Hello everyone, it's Dr. Ruddy. Welcome to Morning Rounds. Today I want to talk to you about a characteristic that we find in the majority of breast cancer. 70% of the women who are diagnosed with breast cancer have what we call hormone receptor positive tumors. What that means is that in the majority of cases, these breast cancer cells contain estrogen receptors on the cell surface. Estrogen receptors are like catcher's mitts, and so when estrogen is swimming by in the bloodstream, out goes the catcher's mitt and it grabs the estrogen. It brings the estrogen inside the cancer cell, and the cancer cell uses that as a kind of fuel with which it can grow. Typically, women who have estrogen receptor positive tumors will be treated in traditional ways with surgery, maybe chemotherapy, maybe radiation therapy. In addition, they will be offered an anti-estrogen. This is to block the catcher's mitt, to prevent the estrogen from swimming by and getting sucked up by the cancer cell. Premenopausal women and some postmenopausal women are given tamoxifen, and tamoxifen actually sits in the catcher's mitt before the estrogen gets there. So it blocks the absorption and integration of estrogen into the cell. Postmenopausal women are given another kind of a drug called an aromatase inhibitor. And aromatase inhibitors prevent estrogen from being made in the first place. So estrogen can be made in fat tissue, it can be made in the adrenal glands. You might bump into estrogenic compounds perhaps in your drinking water, maybe if you are eating food in the sort of typical food chain. There are a lot of ways that women can bump into estrogens. Preventing your body from making estrogen is the function of an aromatase inhibitor. So the aromatase inhibitors block production, and tamoxifen basically blocks distribution. These drugs work very, very well, but in about 30% of cases, women who have been taking these drugs have a relapse. Their tumor comes back, and we assume, rightly, that their tumors have become resistant to these anti-estrogenic compounds, tamoxifen and an aromatase inhibitor. Why? Well, it hasn't been clear, but there's some new information that is somewhat clarifying. Scientists in Europe have discovered that some of these cells, these cancer cells, that were initially responsive to estrogen blockade, either by blocking distribution at the catcher's mitt or blocking production in other cells, become resistant because they have developed renewable internal fuel. They are able to completely bypass estrogen that's swimming along in the bloodstream. They begin to make estrogen inside the cancer cell. So they've got this renewable source of energy. It's almost as if there's a fireplace that hasn't been used, and all of a sudden here comes, 3 tons of logs that you can now burn in your fireplace as fuel. Of course, the next question is, what are we going to do about that? And naturally, the scientists are trying to figure out what they can do to understand how to re-blockade the cancer cell that's now making its own estrogen. In the meantime, here's a really important tip. If you know of a woman, or if you are a woman whose cancer has come back, be sure and ask for a specific biopsy of the new tumor, and be sure to request that that piece of new tissue be sent out to analyze it for receptor status. I have found in my practice, and this certainly is known in the literature, that the tumor that originates in the breast, when it metastasizes to other organs, it may change its genetic profile. Often the number of receptors and the kinds of receptors that are expressed in the metastatic deposits are different. And if they're different, the treatment's going to be different. So don't just let your doctor tell you, oh, the cancer has come back. Find out if there's a way to take a piece of the tissue, the cancer that has come back, and send that out for a complete analysis. Sometimes the receptors that were there are no longer there. Sometimes the receptors that weren't there are now there. These treatment options need to be tailored not only to the original tumor that you had maybe 2 years ago or 20 years ago, they need to be tailored to the problem and the tissue and the cancer that you are experiencing now. So that's it for today. In about 15 minutes, I'm going out on the lawn with my solar eclipse sunglasses, and I'm going to catch my view, 72%, I think, eclipse of the sun here in New Jersey. I hope you're enjoying this great day, and I hope you get a chance to take a peek, provided you're wearing the proper glasses. Thumbs up to you, thumbs down to breast cancer, and by all means, leave any questions or comments that you have for me, and I'll be happy to address them. Thank you.